Hi, Maya. It is, Tuesday, January 21st. And today, I want to talk about jobs, I guess. Today was a productive day as far as my own job goes. I got several what I call outside chores done. It's difficult to leave the house and do things sometimes. And what I mean by that is that my job is to care for an elderly person, and they are currently under 24-hour supervision. It's been downgraded, but not by much. I think I can get away with about an hour, maybe an hour and a half of being gone without someone needing to be checking in. Anywho, the details aren't what I'm on about. I'd like to talk about when you have a job that you cannot leave. When you have a responsibility that even if you were to leave, it is you that makes sure that the next person is doing that same job. This is a job that to put plainly, I cannot not have this job. This job will fire me. I cannot quit it. I guess the details aren't incredibly important, except that I have no reprieve. Yes, I can get someone else to come and do my job, but that is actually more work for me. I have to set everything up so that someone else can do my job. That is a job in itself. And then, if I were to not do this job myself, I would then be monetarily responsible for paying someone else to be here. These are just the details. I don't for anyone who knows more details, I'm not disregarding anyone else involved. I'm not anything. I'm talking about my particular position. Yes, there are other family members. Yes, there's neighbors, things like that. That's not something constant. That's not a reprieve. I work 7 days a week. And although one could look at it if they were a more able-bodied person and unrelated to their boss, they may look at it as a very simple job. Anyone else who came to do this job would work for about 4 hours and get to leave and go elsewhere and work some more, or whatever they chose. I am here all day, and I am compensated for 4 hours of that day. Now, although that sounds off, it is off. To compensate for that, I'd have to pay myself, which I don't have other income, or I would have to charge family members, which I guess some people do that. That's not That's not something that I'm comfortable in doing. On the other hand, I could not have a job that was not at home. Logistically, if I were to leave this job, I would need to make somewhere between $45 and $60 an hour in order to pay someone else to be here at my job so that I could go work elsewhere, simply to pay someone else to be here. I suppose it is not directly that way for me because I cannot work outside the house. I am unreliable physically and probably could not duplicate the hours that I did at some of my other not even 9-to-5 jobs, very minimum hour jobs. I guess there's just a frustration in it. I'm not complaining, I'm simply stating the frustration of it. I have a job that, even if I take out the hours of sleep, is 16 hours a day, and I am paid for a third of that. No, a quarter of that. Ew. Anyway. However, I cannot think of a job that would allow for the very unreliable schedule that my physical body allows. And so I guess what I mean is that you have to make sure that you're keeping that in mind when you feel frustrated. And I know that, but me, myself, I don't sometimes know how to handle it during the day because it's a really hard job, also not a very hard job. I was told a long time ago, never work for family, and I did think that meant in a more industrious way. But as this continues, I can't help but hear that and go like, yeah, I agree. Once you have a job like this, though, what do you do? As I said, there's no direct way to pass it off to someone else, and even if I did, I would still be here to facilitate whoever it was that did just those 4 hours of work. So I guess I'm like trapped in my job, not in an overly negative way, but not in an extremely positive way. It does not pay a livable wage at all. If my relative did not own their own house, we would be in a world of trouble trying to figure out how to make this work. And so there are things to be grateful for in the setup of such a situation. However, it doesn't change the fact that when I lament the fact that I cannot come and visit my parent, that I can't come and hang out for a while and do something fun and then say goodbye and go back to whatever it was I was doing. I don't I don't know how to explain that. It's like my home is my work And so it's not home. And so I see nothing but work around me, and I understand that that's a perspective thing and to be, analyzed. But I have clinical depression. That is, I was born with it. I battled it. There's no battling it. It shows up, runs its course like a weird bout of adrenaline, and hopefully moves on. Anyway, I know that a lot of people are struggling finding a job. I've been told that I have the best job, I have the best of all of this, and I beg to differ in perspective. I invite those who think so to try it out. I'm aware that they cannot. I'm pretty confident in that declaration. And as much as it sounds like I'm picking on them or saying poor me because they're not capable of that, I'm actually sad for them that they can't suck it up and do something that should be done by anyone in a circumstance like this. And I know that should the shoes be on other feet, should the roles be reversed, I would most definitely suck it up myself. But again, that is my perspective, my way of handling things, not necessarily the way someone else would do it or processes it. This whole ride has been very hard within our own family unit, and on top of the worldly changes in the last 5 years have made this a I really want to say cluster something or other. I don't know. I know what I mean, though. So for me, just need to breathe more. Take more little breaks, intentional ones where you're actually concentrating on breathing. For myself, try not to get irritated at the pathetic thought of having to sit and breathe, because we feel a certain way about therapy over the years. And I will try not to be too hard on us, because this isn't a good time to I told you so or what any of that. Because I'd love to have a different job. I'm also grateful that I have a job that I can do at home. And I'm also mad that my job is at home and I don't ever get to get away from it. I don't know how to handle all of those different types of ways of feeling about it. And I will someday be fired, and it'll be horrible because it is a terminus. And the subject will have changed. There will be a definite mourning process. This isn't a job I ever thought I would have, even when I did help other people. So I guess I should think it through a bit before I make these determinations of how my job is going today. Because this is a strange job, caring for someone else. And then I'm caring for someone that I'm related to, and I'm responsible for them. I'm not just cousin with the job. As I've said, I have a sibling, and their whole life is elsewhere. In LA, still threatened with fire. Still other things on their mind. No one is ever going to come and reprieve my job. I guess I'm just having a hard time with that because I'm not happy with it, and that makes me sound ungrateful. And I don't mean it that way at all. I'm just having a personal issue with it. So, here's my little button. It's actually my mother's button. I love my job. It would be a piece of flair. Pieces of flair. On with the parade here. This is thankfully tomorrow is another day. This hasn't been an easy journey, but I guess I'd travel it again. Yeah. I feel some kind of way about it sometimes, but it's only in major frustration, so. So, alright, we'll check in tomorrow. It'll be Wednesday, and it's going to be a good one. Have a great night. I love my job. I hope everybody feels that way at some point, even when they don't. Not permanent, but I hope they feel some kind of way about it. And whoever listened to this, I hope you find a way to enjoy your job and then leave it where it is and go home and have a good time. I think that's the main goal. I'm in my 40s and I'd give anything for that at the moment. So good luck, everyone, and especially our little journey here. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.